Yo, what it is your boy Tex, and like I promised on my Instagram account, I did go to VidCon and I did find this panel really successful. So like I said, I recorded about 10 to 15 minutes of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and upload it just straight out raw. You can hear the guy pretty good. The visuals are a little iffy because it was recorded off my phone, but this is a panel on how YouTube works with velocity and how you should do certain things. So hopefully you enjoy. Please hit the thumbs up. Drop any questions on the comments and I'll try to answer them today.
How did I get here? Well, this is my creator journey.
vidIQ. vidIQ.
vidIQ.com. For many years, just like many of you, I made videos on YouTube in my spare time, desperately trying to find a niche in the highly competitive tech sector. Well, let's face it, every sector on YouTube is highly competitive. Eventually, I stumbled upon the topic of how to record your iPhone screen. It sounds pretty mundane, I know, but, well, nobody else was doing it, and YouTube decided I was the authority on the subject, and my channel quadrupled in size. But in between all of this, I did one tiny tutorial on a vidIQ tool, tweeted it out to my audience and thought nothing more of it. Within 24 hours, the real boss of vidIQ had contacted me, loved my work and wanted me to do more. 12 months, 50 videos and one work visa later, vidIQ offered me the chance of a lifetime to transfer my hobby, my passion, my extra money on the side into a full-time career. I thought about it for all of 2 seconds and said yes. 18 months, 250 videos, 7 conferences, 10 million views, and 300,000 subscribers later, you know what? I think I made the right choice. So sometimes click-through rate, you need to treat it with a little bit of oven gloves because sometimes it might be misleading if your click-through rate is going down. Now, something that's coming out very soon is real-time click-through rate. At the moment, it's kind of delayed for 24, 48 hours. But this tweet is from Matt Geelan, who seems to have access now to real-time click-through rate, and it will show you how many clicks you're getting by the hour. So this is his first 5 hours of a video that was released. Hopefully, we're all going to get it soon. But this is maybe going to help you very quickly analyze a video, and if after the first few hours, you can say the thumbnail's not working, maybe I need to tweak the title and change it. So we're looking forward to everybody seeing that analytic very soon. Now, how do you increase click-through rates? Well, this is a shameless plug alert, because right after this talk, we're going to be actually looking at how to improve your thumbnails, and my good friend, wherever he is, Jeremy Vest, is going to be hosting that, and we're going to be giving you all sorts of good data secrets there. But just to give you a taster of what's going to be in that session, is we have a thumbnail here, me pointing at something. A second thumbnail here with me looking more shockingly at something. And so if I was to just canvass the entire audience here, raise your hands if you prefer thumbnail A. Raise your hand if you prefer thumbnail B. Because that's the thumbnail that we've changed to. So you may be asking, why is thumbnail B better? Jeremy's going to answer all of those questions and more during that session. So make sure to pop along to it. I think it is in, let me just check. Ballroom A, half an hour after the end of this session. All right, subscriber velocity. This is obviously very important, as the first people who are going to watch your content are those who are most invested in your content. So, one thing you might want to look at is the notification bell. Again, YouTube has released a new analytic which tells you how many people are clicking on that notification bell so that they're guaranteed notifications from YouTube when you release one of your videos. So what I would again recommend doing is looking at this analytic in the new studio, benchmark it, and then maybe think about strategies of how to get people to click on that notification bell. Whether it's a call to action in your video or you're directly asking the audience. So everybody, if you are subscribed to vidIQ, please do make sure to click that subscriber bell so you do get future notifications. Now, this is a very interesting graph that the Creator Insider YouTube team released recently. If you're not familiar with who Creator Insider are, it's a YouTube team of YouTube employees that have a YouTube channel, and they release videos introducing you to new features and talking about things that are going on in the YouTube universe. And this is notification velocity. And what these spikes are is the volume of notifications being sent out over a 24-hour period. And you can probably assume that when there isn't much going on, over to the left here, that's in the middle of the night. And then towards the right-hand side, that's during peak hours. And when there are spikes, that's when notifications are being sent out on the hour and the half hour. So you imagine how many people use YouTube every single day, how many notifications are going out, billions. And what they recommended doing is not posting videos on the hour, because then you're going to get caught up in the huge rush of notifications that are being sent out. So what you can maybe test is if you post a video at 8 o'clock, maybe you want to try posting it at 7:53, 7 minutes before. So your notification hits your audience before everybody else's, or maybe a little bit after, maybe 8:07, so that you're not getting stuck in this bottleneck of potential notifications, or you're the last notification that people see on any given hour. Something to test there. Now, we were trying to work out what would be a good number of subscriber views versus non-subscriber views. And it's a very difficult one to benchmark, but what we tended to find that in the first 24 hours, if less than 30% of your audience are subscribers, that potentially means that it's hit your subscriber base, they've responded to it positively, and then YouTube is sharing out to a wider audience already. But if it's more than 30%, then perhaps maybe the watch time isn't too good, or the click-through rate's not working positively. But that's a very difficult one to measure. Again, I would be just looking at your general analytics, benchmarking it, and seeing how you can improve it in the future. But what is really important with your subscribers is they are your most trusted and reliable members of your community, and they will give you much more watch time. So subscribers are super important for that in the early stages. And YouTube tells us that click-through rate plus watch time leads to more distribution of your content. Now, when should you post your videos? We have a tool at vidIQ which analyzes your subscribers' activity and suggests when you might want to post your videos. For us, it's generally in the morning. But if you don't have vidIQ, there is another tool that you can use, which is the real-time stats. I often look at this maybe 3 days after I've posted a video, because what this tells me is like my resting heartbeat, or the cadence of the channel. And what I can see here is when viewers are not watching my content, so perhaps it's in the middle of the night, and when viewers start to engage with my content. And it's not influenced too much by a video that's just been released. So maybe 3 or 4 days after you've posted a video, check the real-time stats over a 48-hour period, and you want to be posting your videos as that velocity starts to drive up, so you're catching all of your audience at the right time. We also had a look at length of video. YouTube, I mean, this is a common question. How long should my videos be? And when you ask YouTube that, the answer is more is better. And that seems to be proven through this graph here, which tells us that video velocity in the first day tends to be more positive to the 9 to 15 minute videos, and it just increases exponentially as you go through the first month of your content. One final thing to look at in terms of velocity from YouTube is what I call free advertising. You may have seen this funnel in the new studio, and this shows you how much YouTube is sharing your content versus how much your audience has to do the work to find your content. If they're searching for your content, then that's work required from you. If YouTube is putting on suggested videos on the homepage, then that's better for you because you don't have to do any work. And we had a recent example, one of our colleagues, Liron, he had a video which was just chugging along nicely, and it was 130 days into its life, and then all of a sudden, it went whoosh. YouTube loved the content, and it started to push recommendations out. So even with all the content, you never know, it might still kick into action, especially if it's like tutorials, educational, evergreen content. So even though sometimes you pushed out a video and it hasn't performed well, it still might be worth tweaking the thumbnails, changing the titles,
because this, I mean, Leron got 1 million views from this single video and about 30,000 subscribers. Okay, so we've looked at some of the strategies you want to change or identifying and potentially changing your content for gaining video velocity. But I wanted to look at some alternative types of velocity. And one of those is potentially your channel niche. And I see this all the time when I'm looking and auditing channels at vidIQ. And I'm picking a random one here again. It's called Home Tech Reviews. And this channel was trying to find their space in the YouTube world. And they were essentially reviewing tech, anything that they found or bought. And it might be a vacuum cleaner one day and a Google Home Hub the other, trying to find their feet, and the views were relatively low in terms of how the channel was growing. And then they stumbled upon a new tablet that had just been released. And so they went from hundreds of views to 9,500 views. So that was a viral moment for their channel. And whenever this happens for your content, I always recommend taking those keywords and doubling down on that content. And that's exactly what that channel did. They went from looking at vacuum cleaners and watches and a Google Home Hub to tablets, nothing but tablets. And they went from hundreds of views to tens of thousands of views in some examples. But they got to the end of their topic, and this was the last video they made on this tablet, 3,000 views. And then they went back into the hustle stage, and then all of a sudden the views absolutely tanked. So I found, and I often get asked this question as well, but should I pigeonhole myself? Should I just be making videos about one particular topic? And my suggestion always is, from YouTube, if you have a good thing going, you can become the authority on that particular topic, the ambassador. And you will find that whenever you return to that topic, YouTube will make it easier for you to share your content. So you should always have maybe these go-to videos that you can potentially look at. Now, evergreen content. Let's get on to the thorny issue of the new studio. Hands up who's used the new studio beta. This is going to be interesting. Hands up who likes using the new studio beta. So it's not too bad. So the new studio is coming soon, and we're all going to have to use it very soon. But there are a lot of tutorials out there on YouTube right now which look at the old techniques. How to delete a YouTube video. It's a very simple thing, but a lot of people who are new to YouTube need to know how to do this. And the video at the top here has got 1 million views. But I decided that with the new studio coming out, we're going to make some tutorials about how to do it for the new studio. So the second video in the rankings here, how to delete a YouTube video 2019, is our video. And it's got 100,000 views. But what was really interesting about this video was that I knew that this wasn't going to have velocity in the first instance. And this is how the graph looked. It had the usual spike in the first day, but then it really went down quite a lot. But then the traction started, and as the positive signals were sent to YouTube, it was starting to rank highly in the search terms. It's continued to gain traction. And I've decided to repeat that technique over and over again with how to add subtitles in the new YouTube studio, how to create a playlist on YouTube in 2019, and how to download a video from your own channel on YouTube in 2019. And all of these videos are starting to slowly pick up traction. So if you do have a strategy of creating content that you know is not going to perform very well to begin with, you have to stick to it. And this is what happened with the velocity on many of these videos. They performed under our average, but then after 28 days, we're starting to outperform how our videos generally perform. And I want to end with this thought in that 100 people may watch a video today, but with evergreen content, 100 people may watch it tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, even next decade. One of the default search terms you might think of is how to unclog a toilet. And I did a quick search here and I found this video. I think it was the best one that had quite a clean thumbnail. And it was made more than a decade ago. And it ranks number 3 or 4 for that term. It's 3 million views. published March 14th, 2009, and last month it was still getting 77 views per hour. I mean, if you can get to the top of the search rankings for evergreen content, then you have hit it big on YouTube.